attendance at that meeting, so I will not be making a motion to approve. I won't be reviewing the minutes. However, so we have a quorum. I will vote last once there's a motion to vote on the minutes. So
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of
okay.
the August 19th meeting.
All right. So actually, let me back up just for a second, gentlemen, just for housekeeping. So we would definitely need to do a roll call. So Don Maderas, current chairman, in attendance. Doug Denninger, current secretary, in attendance, and Mike Zimick in attendance. And then when you make a motion or vote, please just say your name first so that the record's clear.
Mike Zimick makes a motion to accept the meeting minutes from the August 19th meeting.
Doug Denninger seconds the motion.
All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes in a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote. And again, state your name.
Mike Zimick, yay.
Doug Denninger, yay.
Don Maderas, yay. So it's unanimous. The meeting minutes are approved. All right, so the second.
Doug Denninger's secretary notes that he'll send the official version to Julie so she can get it circulated as needed.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
All right, the second item on the agenda is one that I put on, future handling of meeting minutes. For those that don't know, that may be listening or might want to listen or tune in at a later date, we don't meet so often that it's kind of an issue of having to approve minutes a year or two later. And it's also probably inconvenient to ask to just convene a special meeting like tonight just for the purpose of approving minutes. What I would suggest for discussion tonight is that we consider at any future meeting after hearing an application and after deciding on the application, that we then reconvene or then go into a discussion of the minutes. I think, what I'd like to see is just a rough draft, written up so that everyone can hear what the minutes are going to say, and we could, I guess, approve them or approve draft minutes. I don't know, Doug and Mike, how you guys feel about it, or if you have any suggestions or see any issues with that. But
yeah,
I'd like to avoid convening a meeting just for minutes, and we can't leave minutes out there for weeks and months at a time.
Yeah, I question whether there's a way to have a written follow-up via email where we're simply approving or denying the minutes as circulated. If they're denied, then a meeting would be needed. If they're simply approved, like tonight's were for the last meeting, then I don't think we have to have a Zoom meeting. So I would pose this for maybe Michael, the council, to confirm that we can just approve minutes by email afterwards.
The only I think that's a good idea. The only concern I would have is as you know, the rolling quorum issue. So if we were going to do that, it would have to be just and council concurs, we'd have to just do a yay or a nay. If anybody wants to change or comment on anything, it's got to be a nay with no comment, and then we convene a special meeting to approve the minutes.
Sure.
That being said, now that we're in the days of Zoom meetings, it's not that onerous, I guess, to convene a special meeting just to approve minutes, as opposed to the old days when we had to show up at town hall. So what do you think?
So will you take that as a follow-on, Don, to check with council for how we do that via email?
So yeah, so let's restate, because I think I talked over you a little bit, Doug. My apologies. So could you make your suggestion again, and I'll promise I'll listen fully this time.
Sure. Again, Doug Denninger suggesting that our illustrious chairman check with council to determine the appropriate method for approving minutes by email. And if it's simply approved without change, that can probably be done just by the circulating email. However, as noted, if there are any changes to be made, then a meeting will be required to discuss changes.
What do you think, Mike?
I agree.
Okay,
Because I was going to ask what happens to the meetings from this minute. Do we have to come back next week to do this meeting's minutes again and again and again? And then you get into this rolling thing. So I totally agree with the online approval over email if it's all possible, if legally acceptable, I guess we'll say.
okay. All right, so can we have a motion then regarding Doug's suggestion?
Michael Zimick makes the motion to try to explore the idea of accepting minutes via email.
Doug seconds.
Okay, and the suggestion was that Don Madeira's chairman would follow up with council to get an answer to that question. All in favor?
Mike Zimick, yay.
Doug Denninger, yay.
Don Madeiras, yay. So motion's unanimous. I will get back to the board via email regarding instructions from the solicitor in that regard. All right. So we still, I believe, have an open board position. That's the next item on the agenda. Do we have any information? Do we know of anyone that's interested or what? I wonder, should we consider reaching out to Adam Raposa, maybe to touch base, just to make sure that he's willing and able to attend the meetings and take part in preparations for meetings and whatnot. If somebody's overloaded, they may.
He was at the last one. Adam was at the last one. It was.
He was,
Doug,
okay.
Yeah, it was Doug, Adam, and I
Okay.
on the 19th.
All right.
I think you were on vacation at the time. I don't know of anybody we meet so few that usually I forget that I'm even on the committee until I get an email saying I need to be there.
Right. Okay. So I guess we just leave that as an open issue, that there is an open board position, but there's really nothing we can do to address that.
Right. I will note that I will be willing and able to serve through March of next year. And after March, it's subject to how things go with my relocation to Florida.
Oh.
So I think I would need to be in state at least to be a member, although now with Zoom, hey, I can be anywhere in the country, right?
Right.
But seriously, my role is as a citizen. So even though I think architects and PEs can be from out of town, probably even out of state, I'm pretty sure the citizen needs to be a Tiverton resident. So that's another open item at some point. I'll be happy to pass the baton if someone volunteers sooner, but I would suggest that the search start soon for a citizen representative, as well as to get another member.
All right. So Doug, did you say through this coming March 2021? Is that correct, or is it?
Correct, okay. Correct. And it may be, through April or May, but I'm just letting you know that at some point, someone else is going to have to warm my chair.
All right. So what I could do is I could follow up with the solicitor as well and ask that question, if the citizen board member needs to be a town resident, or if there's a requirement in that regard. Because presumably, Doug, you'd still be interested if you could be a citizen member from Florida, or only until we get somebody to fill your shoes if we're in a pinch.
I think it's better if you had someone fill my shoes, since I'll be going out, not only out of state, but out of New England.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I think that's wise. Thanks for the heads up. We'll add a future open board position to the list. Okay.
As I say, fine through March or April, but no harm looking sooner.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that sounds good. I'll put Julie on that so she knows. You probably already advised her, but we'll make sure she hears it again. So, all right. Last item on the agenda are elections. We need to elect a chair and we need to elect a secretary.
I'll make a motion that Don, you remain chair. You've done so well.
I second that motion. Doug Denninger here for Don.
Thank you. Okay, Mike Zimick made a motion, Doug Denninger second for Don to do another term as chair. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye. Oh, Mike Zimick, yay. Sorry.
Doug Denninger, yay.
Don Maderas, yay. It's unanimous. Now we need a motion for secretary.
I'm going to make a motion that Doug remains secretary until he leaves, and then I will more than willing be able to take over at that time if necessary. But he's done such a good job. Might as well let him finish out as secretary.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
Doug,
the vote
you've
of
done it.
confidence.
You've done a fantastic job as secretary. We really appreciate it. So I will second Don Maderas will second Mike Zimick's motion to elect Doug Denninger as secretary for the duration of his term on the board. Do I have a second?
Oh, I made the
actually,
motion.
Mike-
You seconded.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. I seconded. Mike Zimick made the motion. Don Maderas second. All in favor?
Mike Zimick, yay.
Doug Denninger, yay.
Don Maderas, yay. Motion's unanimous. Doug remains the secretary for another term. All right, is there anything else anyone has to discuss or any other comments or anything? Hearing none, can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Mike Zimick will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Doug Denninger seconds.
All right, all in favor?